to show you who I am. Conrad Cushman, the legend in the plans. Please listen every day to the showcase. The opinions and knowledge that anyone can take. Showing you how it is done. Proving I am number one. What a legend becomes. This is now my time to show you that I am here. This podcast just to make it loud and clear. By the fans, for the fans. Not many whose head can understand everything pro wrestling. It can never be you. Listen to the podcast here for the people. The best show that's here, so listen in. Let the knowledge begin. The opinion and the lesson. Yes.
Folks, welcome to Everything Pro Wrestling. Everything Pro Wrestling is a show by the fans, for the fans. I'm your host, Conrad Cushman, and today we are giving you a retro review, and we had to bring back one of our most requested guests, Casey. What is going on? It's good to have you back on the podcast, my brother.
What is up? It's been too long, Conrad. It's been way too long.
Casey is who we talk about often in the AEW chats, giving his 2 cents and adding things in. So we got him on the podcast to talk, and I think you're going to be seeing a little bit more of him when it comes to doing some of these podcast things. So we are here to do our retro review of Money in the Bank 2011. This show is absolutely one of those shows that you will never forget. We're going to run down everything that happened with this right before we get to the intro.
Money, 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 money. Money, 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 money.
Everything pro wrestling, they can never be you. Listen to the podcast here for the people. The best show that's here, so listen in. Let the knowledge begin. The opinion and the lesson. Yes, everyday pro wrestling, they can never be you.
All right, big shout out to Monteezy for the intro. Always got to show love. We're talking Money in the Bank 2011. The pay-per-view happened actually July 17th, 2011. I can't remember so much about that time and day. It's absolutely crazy. I think at that time, Casey, I think we were working with each other at the same location. I just remember like everything about that day, man. Here in Buffalo, we had the local Italian festival. I remember going to it that day, and I just remember being so hyped for this show. How did you feel going into like this entire show for CM Punk?
Oh, well, it was awesome because I had just come back to pro wrestling. I stopped watching for a number of years throughout high school and college because, you know, chicks didn't dig guys that watch pro wrestling. And so, yeah. But no, I came back. CM Punk brought me back, actually. So this is a show that means a lot to me in my fandom of pro wrestling. So
yeah, we have so much to talk about with this show, and I guess we'll just kind of set up everything. For me, I remember specifically going home, and I was just like, "Oh, Money in the Bank tonight," and it was one of those shows where I actually felt like I had to be home. Like you could watch Monday Night Raw today, and I don't feel like I need to be home for it. You know what I mean? You could watch Smackdown. It's like, I don't need to be home for that. Or a B show pay-per-view. This show was built so well that I was like, yo, I cannot miss this. I have to see what they do. Because CM Punk's always been my guy since Ring of Honor, and I was just a big fan. So the storyline is all built around when the clock strikes midnight, CM Punk's WWE contract ends, and he will be going for the WWE Championship. So what happens if his contract ends and he's the champion? Whoa, mystery ensues. And they really got involved with this. Because at first when the build-up started to happen, it was kind of just like, oh, what are they doing with this? Is this kind of a real thing, or are they just messing around? And when they started getting Vince McMahon involved, and I forgot some of the stuff, I fell asleep on the Pipe Bomb promo. Like that Raw, I was like, yeah, I can't do this, man. I was knocked out from our job because you know what time we woke up back then.
I cannot believe you fell asleep.
Yeah. Sorry, I woke up at 3 a.m. and I just couldn't hang anymore. But I was knocked out, and I remember Rob was trying to tell me, like, bro, you got to wake up. You got to get up. This dude is doing something amazing. And I woke up at like 11:30, and I saw messages like, bro, I left already, but I want you to know you need to go back on the computer right now and look up what happened at the end of Raw. And I was like, it can't be that important. I'm like, oh, it's R-Truth versus Cena in a tables match. I'm like, what is this that he's telling me I need to see? And then
Greatest tables match ever.
Because of that promo, maybe.
Yeah.
But the pipe bomb promo, how did it make you feel going into it? Like,
well, first of all, let's not just sell this tables match short. It's always great seeing John Cena go through a table. So yeah, because you know how I feel about that guy. But the pipe bomb promo is one of the greatest and most important promos in the history of pro wrestling, in my opinion. It just what it did, what it stood for, and really just like I said, I don't think I'm alone in CM Punk, being the guy that brought us back to pro wrestling. I know that there's a lot more people out there like me, and so it means a lot to me, and so awesome that it's 10 years. I can't believe it's 10 years ago.
Yeah, 10 years ago to the day of this being uploaded. Really good stuff. They had so many great setups for this, and even after the pipe bomb promo, I was doing my research, and I remember it wasn't shown on Raw, but it was announced that CM Punk was suspended for his comments. Effective immediately, CM Punk is suspended. So they made it feel like it was a shoot. It was wonderful what they did with all of this. So in the opening of this show, I have to give a shout out to some people. I was a huge CM Punk fan during all of this, and I noticed that we saw Frank the Clown in the crowd. So
I saw him too.
Does he still date Noelle Foley? I have no clue.
I believe so. I believe so.
This dude was in the crowd, and David Hero and Damian Nelson from the Pro Wrestling Report were also showing. They were panning across. I was like, that's so cool. And David Hero's son wrestles now on AEW Dark, and I think it's just so dope to just see how far we've come. Commentary team was Michael Cole, Jerry, Jerome, the King Lawler, and Booker T were on commentary. Not the greatest commentary team, but I thought tonight that they were serviceable, though. I think they did a good job with some parts of this, but there were some aggravating parts that we'll probably get to.
I can't stand those guys, although, not as bad as some people. I don't know. These are the two greatest commentators of all time, okay? All you people with your JR love, these guys right here. This dude, one-man show, and he did it all. That's talent. And this guy is just, the brain was, the man.
Bobby the Brain Heenan was the man.
So compared to these guys, this commentary team was garbage.
Let's talk first the SmackDown Money in the Bank ladder match. Moving on with this. We start off with the participants in this. Sin Cara.
A lot of all-stars in this one.
You know what? It was a lot of people who I had hoped for, I'll say. Sin Cara, Wade Barrett, Justin Gabriel, Sheamus, Cody Rhodes. Whatever happened to that guy,
someone should pick him up, though, if he's free. If he's a free agent, someone should pick him up.
Another free agent people should pick up, Daniel Bryan, and Kane was in this as well.
Seriously. You know what? That guy, he always gave me I think he'd be great in politics. I really do. Big Red Monster. I just think he'd be, he's very, very political, very, very judicial. He'd be great.
Kane was always one of the smart ones. I'm not going to lie that I'm not surprised to see where he is today. So when you look at these Money in the Bank ladder matches, these are tough to call. I'm not going to go over every single move in some of these things, but the Money in the Bank ladder match, to me, it's hard to have a bad Money in the Bank ladder match. There's a formula to this. You just kind of follow it and do some different things in there that fit whoever's the person.
You could have someone who's not even really in the match come out and win it. And someone who doesn't even really need the Money in the Bank briefcase to elevate them. I don't know. Spitballing Brock Lesnar. I don't know. But but I get your point. It is hard to mess up a ladder match with how many guys?
I think this was 8, if I'm not mistaken. Hold on. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Yeah, it's 8.
Yeah.
Live on air, counting with Sesame Street. 8 people in this matchup. Like I said, there were some winners in here, I thought, though. There were some people who still are wrestling today, some who we probably wish we didn't see wrestle. Like, this was an interesting group of guys to put in this ladder matchup for the SmackDown side of things. It had a lot of newer people in it. The SmackDown one I thought was more interesting. I always felt that way for the most part with these shows when they did the 2 ladder matches, when they had like the blue brand, red brand. I felt bad that the ladies didn't get one at this point in time yet. So I know some people are like, what? Where's the women's ladder match? They didn't have it at this time. But who were you rooting for in this one? Do you remember like who you were going for? Like,
I mean, I definitely remember at the time I was a Wade Barrett guy. I always thought that he had so much potential that I always hated what they did to him and the Nexus, just feeding them to that guy that we'll talk about later. But yeah, so Wade Barrett was my dude back then. I was really hoping he would have won.
Yeah.
Cody Rhodes was cool too. I've always been down with Cody Rhodes. And this was it was face mask Cody, right?
Yeah, he thought he was ugly from Rey Mysterio's knee brace busting his up.
Yeah. Good job, Cody. You know what? I'm just saying, I think if he patched on a little muscle, just himself like a red, white, and blue neck tat, he'd be gold. He'd be gold.
Yeah, I'm with you on that. That might be a good idea. But like I said, all these guys were new, though. Cody Rhodes' push was still kind of brand new. Like, he was just doing matches with Rey Mysterio. Let's look at each guy. Sin Cara. This guy was a big international sign. He got the Taka Michinoku treatment, and we know where that goes now for the most part. But they were trying to push him like he was going to be a really great person. Wade Barrett had it all. He had the look. He had everything. The only thing that sucked was that wasteland move. I hated that as a finisher. The bullhammer was so much better when he incorporated that later.
Agreed.
Justin Gabriel.
The wasteland, you think it's going to be like this badass, powerful like move, and it's just like he just kind of like drops them to the mat. It's just
it's like what dads do with their sons when they're wrestling near the couch and stuff. It's just like
exactly.
You can't do that in a wrestling match. Justin Gabriel, I thought, was really good in a lot of this. He had some really cool things.
He's one of those guys that it's just he's tailor made for a ladder match style, like just with how aerial and whatnot he is. Sheamus
was the perfect kind of power guy and maybe throw you off like, well, maybe he could win this too. Heath Slater, he still is amazing. I think he's still trying to recover from like his first injury I think I've ever heard of him having. But Heath Slater's doing great work in Impact now. We've got Daniel Bryan. Daniel Bryan was the guy I was pulling for in this. Like, I was a big fan of his in Ring of Honor. Sure. I knew what the guy could do. And Kane's just here because he's Kane. He's got the oversee in the matches, and he kind of holds things together.
Hey, man, don't hate on Kane.
No, I would never. I like Kane. Spots, I guess, from this match that we remember. Sin Cara hit a pretty nice Spanish fly off the top rope with Daniel Bryan. Sheamus powerbombing Sin Cara. Like, that's played every Money in the Bank clip because that was the sweetest way to get him out of there. They're like, you are not messing this up. Down you go to the back. You're protected.
It looks painful, though.
Yeah, that looked bad. Let me see here. I like that Sheamus and Kane hit a doomsday device on Daniel Bryan. Like, that was so sweet too. Justin Gabriel's 450, so the ladder was balanced across the top rope, and he stood on it, and you could see he was shaking, and then he was like, "I'm good." Boom, hit it. Just quality stuff. Even Heath Slater, like laying across the ladder, and they're like walking with him. They're like, "You're getting dumped out, just so you know, buddy."
Yep.
Good stuff in this, man. They went back and forth, and then it really comes down to Daniel Bryan and Wade Barrett at the end. And I was like, so you know when it's getting close to the end because all the bodies are down, everyone's down. And when it was these two, I was like, thank goodness, do not let anybody ruin this moment.
I was waiting. I was like, is Heath Slater going to slide in here? Is Heath Slater going to slide?
Bryan ends up kicking Wade Barrett to the head. He falls off the ladder, and Bryan pulls down the briefcase. What a shocking move from a dude who a year before was getting fired because he choked someone with their necktie because wrestling, right? So we got to get rid of you. Mattel's not feeling this, brother. We can't do this, man. Bryan wins. I was happy for him, though.
He definitely deserved it. Daniel Bryan's always been amazing. So, yeah, no, it was a solid Money in the Bank ladder match. Came down to the right two guys. I felt like just at this point, Sheamus, Kane had already won, right?
Kane had won Money in the Bank.
Yeah,
the year before.
Yeah, had Sheamus won before?
I don't think so. I don't think Sheamus wins it until a few more years later.
All right. It's always my memory's always so fuzzy, you know.
Don't worry, everybody gets a turn in one of these. Usually, you'll win it eventually. Trust me.
Don't worry.
But judging on the grading scale that I use, I usually always have it in the description box if you guys want to check it out. This one, I really had to give an A-2. I thought that this was top quality work from these guys. A-. Like I said, hard to mess up a Money in the Bank. He gave me what I wanted. He gave me great spots throughout this, great teases. Kudos. I was very happy with this.
For sure.
And I didn't give Cody enough props, but Cody held his own in this too with disaster kicks, catching people, moving people so that they don't get hurt for moves. But Bryan wins. Vince McMahon is then shown arriving with his goods.
Well, you don't want to know my grade, huh?
What? You just agree with me. This is how this goes. What do you have a grade for this? Are you following the same grading system as me?
I give this match 4 watermelons.
Why watermelons?
They're delicious, and it's summertime.
Out of how many?
I don't know. My grading scale's not in the comments, so you didn't feel it necessary to include my grading system in the comments.
There's a reason why. Because number one, I hate watermelon, and number two, we can't have this.
How do you hate watermelon?
It's just not my thing, man. We'll talk. That's an off-air conversation.
Watermelon is delicious. No, I'm going to shame you publicly. Watermelon's delicious.
You know what? I can't tell these stories publicly that I have for the reason why I don't like it.
All right, fair enough. 4 watermelons for this match, though. Yeah, you'll see. You'll see. I think the fans will catch on to my grading system.
Okay. Well, Vince McMahon is shown arriving with his goons, John Laurinaitis, and I don't know who the other guy is. I have no clues. That's supposed to be a lawyer. The dude looks super weird and dorky next to it. We needed Pat Patterson and Joe Briscoe there for that spot instead.
Yeah, we needed the Stooges.
Yeah. So we have the King Stooge, though, Johnny Ace there. So he's doing his thing. Looking very vascular, boss. Looking good. Looking good, kid.
I hated him so much at this time. Oh, my God.
People power. So the Divas Championship match is next. I kind of loathe talking about these because I never liked the Divas division per se. I never liked that belt, number one. Terrible belt design. When people talk about bad belt designs, this comes to my mind like every time. This butterfly type of belt, I never liked it.
But it was so pretty to get the girls to buy the WWE toys.
Eye roll. So Brie Bella is with her sister Nikki Bella, and they're going against Kelly Kelly.
Were they calling China hideous or manly in this, or was
absolutely not?
Or was that after?
This is 2 years later. They say that those comments.
Oh, okay.
Casey's here to bring controversy to the show. If you guys have not noticed, because I'm going to be the straight man, and Casey's just going to bring it, and then hopefully you'll see one of us explode from our comments at each other, and then that's when it's going to get good.
Yeah.
Kelly Kelly is with Eva Marie, or
Eve
is it
Torres?
Excuse me, Eve Torres. You switched my brain over to now with the whole
Louise.
Eve Torres. No one cares because Eve Torres doesn't.
Eve Torres Gracie, I believe now. I'm pretty sure she's married to a Gracie.
Eve Torres doesn't factor into this match because she didn't do shit in this really, except for go, hey ref, look. So Kelly Kelly, they do their usual stuff in this match. Kelly Kelly hits her patented head scissor that she always used on Brie. This to me though was placed perfectly in here. This was a cool down match, Casey. I usually say match number 2 always has to be a cool down match on these type of cards, and it did its job. It cooled down the crowd. Kelly hits the K2, the rocker dropper, for the victory. We'll let you go first on this one. I mean, do you have any thoughts in your grade?
This is far too much time to be spent talking about this match. This match was garbage. The Bellas are garbage. They're awful people. Their apology was nothing but PR garbage. I can't stand the Bellas, and they exemplify everything that was wrong with the women's division. They're not some heroic people that be held up and like, oh no, they sure did change. No, they didn't. They were what was wrong with the women's division. Get them out of here. I don't need them coming back for some potential women to get those women's tag belts. I don't need them coming back. The less said about the Bellas, the better. You made me talk about them far too much. Get out of here. This match gets 18 grapefruits.
For the purpose of this show, Casey's views and thoughts are Casey's views and thoughts. I have nothing else to say about this. I went C+ for it. I'm like, okay. To me, it was better than what we could have seen. I remember some pretty atrocious matches that got 0 time during that time period. But we'll move forward from this. Let's talk about this great commercial for a DVD set. Do you remember those? I want you guys to know that behind me right here, so those are all PlayStation games for the most part in that stupid rack. I'm sick of them. I don't even buy physical copies of games anymore because I can't deal with the space issues. But that right there behind it is a mountain full of DVDs. Not even all the ones that we have. Just DVDs from movies, wrestling DVDs, and there's a whole bunch in some of these drawers too. Bro, they were selling these DVDs. Thank goodness that I was like, yeah, we can't buy these anymore. It's over. DDP selling this Nitro DVD is absolutely crazy. Do you have this DVD?
I don't know. Do you?
No, I didn't know.
I was going to be so surprised.
If you got me to buy anything WCW, I had to check the match list first. I have a Clash of the Champions one, and I don't think I have anything else. I'm trying to remember. If it wasn't a best of, no, I'm good, bro. I don't need any WCW DVDs. But now it's all on the network, so we can watch it on that great Peacock app. Free plug for you, WWE. Let's get to the next match. We've got ourselves 2 big guys ready to...
Real quick. Have you watched the Mick Foley on Stone Cold podcast? Have you watched it yet?
Yes, I did.
Their story about messing with Diamond Dallas Page was amazing. It was amazing.
The cookies?
Yeah. Oh, my God. Anyway.
And DDP seems like the nicest guy in the world.
I know. Why would they mess with him? Oh, my God.
So, Big Show versus Mark Henry, what we have here. The battle of that wasn't around yet. The battle of 2 colossal guys. And during this time period, Mark Henry was getting the Hall of Pain push. And I absolutely loved it. Bro, they made him. That was when I finally believed in him as a monster. I was also a big fan of the Teddy Longtime. It's the Mac Militant. I was a big fan of Mark Henry then too. But this was Mark Henry at his absolute best. And
that's what he does.
That's what I do.
That's right.
Thank you for putting the correct grammar on it. But Big Show is someone that Casey has a lot to say about. And I just have to put this in here so when Derek listens to it that he'll get mad. Casey, 100%. How do you feel about Big Show's theme?
Big Show's theme song is the greatest theme song of all time. His entrance music is the best because entrance music, the moment it hits, you should know exactly who it is. And around the time, there was an era where it was all metal stuff, and it was all generic and it all sounded the same. But no, not Big Show's. As soon as it hits, well, it's a big show. Yeah, it's a big bad show tonight. Yeah, greatest theme song ever. And yeah, go Big Show.
When you bring that up, I always say you have a great point to it, though. Like, it's kind of true, though, because when you hear the, well, dude, Derek gets pissed instantly. As soon as the W hits, he's like, oh, my God, not now. Are you kidding me? And it is a great theme song. This matchup, though, Mark Henry is breaking out. They did a promo video for all of these matches, which I liked, for the record, too, for the most part. I don't think the Divas one had one, but the rest of the matches had kind of like promo packages building up the singles matches for this. And this was just two big dudes fighting. I loved it because it didn't overstay its welcome. They got in the ring, did what they had to do, and may I say this, they were explosive in what they did. They went in, Big Show was like, yo, people are not going to let us just have our old school 80s like big dude match. We're going to have to get in there. We're going to have to chop each other. We're going to have to do this stuff real quick, and then every once in a while, bust out something semi-athletic. Cool. And they
Show coming off the ropes. Bro.
You don't want none of that.
Bro.
But they did a good job, though, in this match. Like, I really like this match. I don't know how you feel. Maybe
I agree. I agree. Dude, Big Show came off the ropes. That is A++ effort right there from the big man. He is fantastic. Mark Henry at this time was fantastic. I loved the Hall of Pain. He's a beast. And this match for me got what was my grading scale? I was using fruit, right?
Yeah.
It gets grapes are my favorite fruit, just so y'all know. So this gets 4 grapes.
4 grapes. Now, we see a World's Strongest Slam. They kept Big Show strong by having him kick out of the first one, but after he hits that second one, you're staying down for the count. I just loved how they built this. Mark Henry gets the victory, as he should have, I think, during that time. And Mark Henry then hits the Vader bomb onto Big Show's left lower leg that is wrapped in a chair. He, I guess we'll say, Pillmanized him. It wasn't exactly the stomp, but they did a really good job here. And for the first time in the night, the EMTs come out. There were way too many EMT spots during this show. It was like, bro, didn't you just do that? And then it happens again and again and again. Just drove me crazy in this. But I like this match.
No, you know what drove me crazy? Was the cameraman they had at the bottom of the ramp that was like getting in people's way, like numerous times throughout the card. He was like right in people's way, like the EMTs are trying to do their shtick, and he's just like right on top of them, like, hey, what's up? Oh, you're actually trying to do something? I should probably not be in your way if this was a real emergency.
I like the fact, too, for Big Show, they brought out, like, the big football gurney. Like, oh, my goodness, we got to get this guy on here. Hop, 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 hop. Rocco's Modern Life, if you didn't know where that's from. Oh, yeah. And they did a good job. I gave this a B. I thought this was really well done. Then we go to the back, Casey. We've got Josh Matthews. Josh Matthews, Impact Wrestling. Josh Matthews is here before Impact days. And I actually liked him in WWE a lot. Josh Matthews asked Vince McMahon if he re-signed CM Punk. Vince says no. Vince then blames Cena for all of this and says that this is John Cena's fault that he accepted this match and that this is happening. So the company's basically on his back here. And I really have a lot to say about this. Is this the right time to address this part of the match? I never liked how Vince blames Cena for all of this. And he says if Punk leaves the building with the title tonight, may God have mercy on John Cena's soul. Remember that comment when we get to the end of all this. Remember that comment because like, yeah, you said that, but nothing happened.
Yeah.
So
I mean, we understand that Vince is the boss. What he says goes, but it's John Cena's fault for making this match that Vince McMahon had to sign off on. It makes so much sense if you don't think about it.
Moving on, because I can't even wrap my brain around some of the stupidity in this. We've got the Raw Money in the Bank ladder match. This one was quite interesting. This one had a good crop of people in it. We have Alberto Del Rio, Some may refer to him as Alberto del Dipshit these days. We also have Kofi Kingston, one of my favorites, bro. He was always an MVP in these matches, I feel. And I'll talk more about that in a second.
No, MVP is a different person.
No. Don't you dare do this to me right now. I know who MVP is. But Kofi was doing the damn thing in this. We also have Jack Swagger, who was in this one. I'm a big fan. I like Jack Swagger.
I really hope a company doesn't pick him up at some point if he's not doing anything. Stop. No Jack Swagger slander right now. Come on. Evan Bourne. I liked him too. Big fan of Air Boom, by the way. They definitely have potential. 100%. 100%.
R-Truth is in here, and this is the R-Truth with like no music face, and he's talking to himself. R-Truth really is like goated. Like he's really somebody who deserves way more respect than he gets.
Bro, and he looks the exact same. The dude doesn't age.
Baby. Black don't crack, bro. I don't know if you know this, but
bro, he doesn't age at all. It's insane.
Truth's the man, bro. I love him.
The dude's a vampire.
I really think too for his last run, like he should really get like a great storyline and him getting like a world title shot. I'm not saying he has to win, but I really do think he should get to like main event, like one of those B show pay-per-views or something like this. Like he deserves it, I feel. And he's like really, he's older and he's still doing splits and everything. Like his moveset has not changed at all.
No.
Alex Riley. Well, I gotta talk about him when we go through like the order of how everything happens in this. The Miz was in this one. Yes. Big fan. Yes. During this time, I'll say I was a big fan. And Rey Mysterio. This is like
why do you have to qualify it?
What with Miz?
With the Miz, why do you have to qualify it? Why?
Because I like how the Miz was treated during this time period, and I don't like the way he's treated now. If that makes sense, like, I feel like Miz should be treated better than he is.
I mean, the Miz should be treated as greatness all the time.
All right, you're going too far now. So
the Miz, let it be said, greatest intercontinental champion of all time. All time. Yeah.
I don't know if you heard about Pat Patterson winning this title in a tournament in Rio de Janeiro by beating Ted DiBiase, but one of the best tournaments ever on the WWE Network on Peacock. Yeah. I don't know if they've uploaded that yet, but when you get a chance to, when you find it, you tell me about it.
Oh yeah. I think that's sitting on someone's desk somewhere.
Yeah, with a pencil right next to it.
Yeah, exactly.
This is what happens. So everyone made their entrances during this match, and they grabbed ladders during this. I get it. It's tough to book 2 Money in the Bank ladder matches because now it's like, well, how do we make this one different? Because you don't want them both to be the same. So everyone grabbed ladders in the beginning of this. I do like that R-Truth grabbed like the small step stool one because he's afraid of heights.
Yeah.
So they did really good stuff here. They use it, but can we say something? Alex Riley.
I feel like we've been saying stuff, but go on.
No. The pop that this man got was insane. And by the way, the Say It to My Face music, that shit was amazing. Like, I don't care what anybody says. Say it to my face. Like, the fans loved it. Why didn't they do more with him? Like, they had something.
I can tell you why. And he's in the main event of this show.
Copy that. I won't even say anything else.
If you know, you know.
Miz, bro. The Miz in this one. Miz is a G. I just have to say that for a spot in this match. And I've always wanted to ask, like, whoever's in this. So we're going back to the right frame here. The Miz, when you see him in this, he was up at the top and he falls down. Do you think Miz really hyperextended his knee, or do you think that was a spot in this? Because if that was a spot, he is a great actor because he's fooled me for years with this.
I think it's a spot because isn't his current, like, is he still injured?
Yes, injured now.
Isn't this his first actual injury, like major injury?
Right. He could have been like, I don't really that hurt.
I think it was a spot, man. I don't think he actually did.
Well, whoever thought of it, that was amazing because they fooled me for a long. Because I thought he really hurt himself. The punching on the mat, like he was like,
Yeah,
I'm mad. Like he looked like he was genuinely upset that he wasn't going to get the chance to show what he could do in this. And I was like, oh, interesting. Jack Swagger, I like that he got a really cool spot with Kofi Kingston with the ankle lock while he was on the ladder, and Kofi's like basically almost there, and then he has to slide down. It's like one of those classic things with ladder matches. The whole, like, when you get up on a step stool to do something crazy, do you ever just go, oh, you know what? If I go up one more, I could probably get it, but let me just try and let me reach for that. Let me reach for that. Oh.
No, you know what I do? You know what I do? Anytime I have to do work on a ladder, I always climb it really slow.
Like you've been through a terrible match.
I just like, oh. And here's another thing that, like, a sign of a really great ladder match, and this isn't just for ladder matches, but any real stipulation match, cage match. Honestly, I get annoyed when the wrestlers aren't actively trying to win the match. So, like, when you have a person who's just standing in the middle of the ring in a ladder match, and he's like, well, what should I? Get the damn ladder, set it up, and start climbing. Cage match, another example. Go for the door. Jump up, try jumping over the cage wall. Like, what are you doing? The point is to win a match. And
you know this is going to backfire on you one of these days, though. There's going to be like a Money in the Bank ladder match, and someone's going to be holding a ladder, and they're going to be like, Ricochet, do you think you could run up that and grab the briefcase like immediately? Yeah, why not? We're doing that tonight. Like, what?
100%. I'm totally cool with it. I am totally cool with it. Especially, aren't there 3 now?
What?
Because the women have one.
Yeah, but there's only one men's. I like that better. One men's. One
okay.
Women's.
Okay. Yeah, I mean, yeah, I'd be down for it. Just a 10-second Money in the Bank ladder match. Just Ricochet
just jump off the guy's shoulders, climb the cage, and flip out. I'm more of a fan of like cage matches with the top. It just makes more sense.
Yeah, dude, I would love it though if Ricochet or someone like him, very athletic, was in a cage match and just totally boom, like in seconds, just scales it and is over the top. Match is over, and the person's like, his opponent's like, what? And he's like, that's the whole point of the match is to get out. Like, I don't understand. Like,
send your hate mail to @Casey Briggs on Twitter when this happens, because he's gonna be like, I love this. This was great.
Greatest ever. Anyway, back to this match.
Kofi Kingston may be one of the best Money in the Bank performers. I say he always, he never wins, but always delivers in these matches. Creative spots, he's always involved in it. We had a great shot of everybody fighting on top. I was like, this is a future poster, and I think they did end up using something like this later on, where everybody's battling, and I'm like, this is really good. The fans begin to get on their feet when they hear the Miz coming down. I love the pop for it because they're like, the fans stand up. I'm like, what's happened? I remember watching, and all of a sudden you just see Miz hobbling on one leg, like, oh yeah, I'm about to get this briefcase. And as he's getting ready to go up to the top, Rey Mysterio stops him, and Rey Mysterio gets booed. Rey Mysterio is like the greatest babyface ever, and people just shit on him. Like, they just have him do stuff at the wrong time. They're like, you know what, Rey? I want you to grab Miz down off, but people are cheering him. We know, Rey. Just do it.
You know what, Ray? We want you to go out into the Rumble at number 30. But people really want Daniel Bryan. It doesn't matter. You go out there. It'll be fine.
Booyaka. This show sucks. So I always felt for Ray, because to me, Ray's like one of the greatest cruiserweights of all time. He's one of the greatest wrestlers, truthfully, of all time.
Yeah.
Rey Mysterio eventually looks like he's going to have the opportunity to win this, but Alberto Del Rio stops him, and he gets up, and they're struggling with each other on top of there. He rips off Rey Mysterio's mask in what was almost flawless, but it could have turned really bad. Like, every time I watch, I'm like, bro, this one could have really shit the bed. Rey Mysterio's supposed to, like, land on the ladder and keep his face covered. The ladder is tipping, and Rey's like, well, I can't show my face. I'm like, dude, you've got balls, bro. You're about to, like, fall off the ladder. Don't do this to yourself. But he goes into Del Rio, and it makes it even funnier because Del Rio's ladder is clearly made of like tinfoil pan with macaroni and cheese on Thanksgiving, and it just bends. And he's like, "Crap! Give me the other ladder!" And nobody can get up at the time, and he grabs the Money in the Bank briefcase. He wins.
They all have to wait the extra like 30 seconds it takes him to like get the new ladder, set it up. Like
for those not watching on the video, I'm doing like you lay your head down to sleep when you're looking up. Get up there. No, I don't have time for this.
Oh man!
And Evan Bourne, I didn't give him any props in this. He did a sweet shooting star press off the top. Like he was always good for that too. Like really good, man. A- again. I can't really complain about this. It was. It
would have been better if Miz won. Miz is my boy.
Well, he won the year before. I think that was.
I know. And then he went on to headline one of the greatest main events in WrestleMania history. One of the greatest main events.
I'm done.
What?
I'm done with you. You
what are you talking
too far. That WrestleMania was not great.
Do you disagree?
WrestleMania 27? Absolutely. Horrible.
It ends with The Miz as champion. I think that's remarkable.
Well, I did cheer for that. But I'm just saying that was for completely different reasons.
John Cena was in a main event of WrestleMania and didn't beat The Miz. I think that's great.
Shout out to The Rock, by the way.
Yes.
The Rock.
Suck it, Cena.
Moving on. World Heavyweight Championship match. Now,
that one got 4 watermelons, by the way.
Oh, I'm sorry. Yes.
Yeah.
Seedless. So, World Heavyweight Championship match. We've got Christian challenging Randy Orton. I guess the main thing for this will be setting up the storyline here. The story is Christian. This goes even further back. So, Edge, who is back now. Edge was out. He was taken out for an injury. He couldn't come back. His career was over. Christian takes his place, defeats Alberto Del Dipshit. He beats him. He becomes the World Heavyweight Champion, fulfilling his friend's dream. Edge is happy. He got to see his buddy win it. Literally, 2 days later. I remember seeing the little message pop up, and I was like, what the fuck did this company do? And Randy Orton defeats Christian on SmackDown. Like that. Nothing. Christian's story is, I need one more match. Give me one more match, Teddy. And each match had some bullshit happen in it, like some controversy. I remember the one where he put his foot over the rope. I think that was over the limit, and the ref missed it. Shout out to Mike Chioda, by the way. They really had him looking bad in this. Like, you missed it, Mike. You're supposed to be the senior official. You got to look for this.
Yep.
Like, do you think they have training classes on it afterwards? Like, Mike, you can't turn around every time someone gets on the apron. You missed the DQ.
They should have that on Raw or SmackDown sometime. Like show an actual room full of refs training, going over game tape footage. You see what you did right here is
and Earl Hebner should be the one berating them because it would just be great. You asshole.
Asshole. You want a shirt?
Oh, I'm having too much fun on this one. But I will say this: Randy Orton and Christian have always had good chemistry, going back to 2003 Raw. If you remember,
you know what it is. I think Christian, that guy. What I would say about him is that he outworks everyone.
I hate you so much right now. Perhaps Christian outworks everyone, or maybe Randy Orton is the greatest wrestler in the world. Many would say that to this day.
Many would, and probably they'd be an overrated announcer.
Don't do this right now. We're not having this argument on air. I don't even know what he was doing at this time. Where is he? I don't know. They like Cole better, I guess, during this time. So where am I in this? So he loses it. So Christian eventually puts in a stipulation on this match that if Randy Orton gets DQ'd, he loses the championship. Teddy Long agrees. He says, you know what? It has been ridiculous. Orton's been using weapons and stuff in the match, getting DQ'd. Fine. If that happens, and normally in any type of match, Casey, since you've been watching wrestling, I don't care if it's WCW, WWF, GFW, AWA, you know that if they put that stipulation on, you're probably not going to see a DQ, right? Normally. Well, listen in on this one. So Christian puts that stipulation on, and the psychology for the matchup was great. Randy Orton makes his entrance. Christian literally goes outside, grabs a chair, and throws it at him like, hit me.
Yep.
And Randy says no. They go on to have a hell of a wrestling match. Despite Christian being the heel, this guy, the work rate's amazing. And same with Randy Orton. Like, Randy Orton makes things look smooth as butter. I don't know how else to put it. The drop kicks are great. Power slams are great. They're hitting everything in this match like they know they should. I loved everything. And one of my favorite spots they always do is the gut wrench, kind of like powerbomb, where he picks Christian up and he does that neck breaker. It's like he only does it with him. It looks so good in this.
Yeah, I love like he lets go with it, just trying to show off his strength, and then he does it. Like it was amazing in this match. So
Randy Orton also is like someone who he moves very slow in the ring and everything else. When Christian goes for a spear in this, Randy Orton does a leapfrog and like touches his toes. Like he could have been on like, yeah, I could have done cheerleading if I wanted to. I got this. Like he just jumps up and I'm like, dude, this dude is amazing. Like I don't understand how he does this. But let's get to it. So Christian nails the kill switch and Randy Orton kicks out. Shockingly. So this is going to lead to him to attempt the spear. Orton leaps over, setting Christian up for the RKO, but he falls back into the corner and does one of the most repugnant things that you could do to somebody. Spit in their face. And Christian hawked a loogie. Like, it was gross. It
was disgusting. Disgusting.
I'm one of those people, I lose my shit if someone accidentally spits on me. Like, if I do it during a conversation or whatever, this is why you don't drink, kids, because this is how people just start spitting on you and everything else, especially in the condition that we're living in today still. You don't want spit flying everywhere. And, bro, when he spit on his face, I understood. Like, the psychology was great in this. I understood, like, Orton's pissed. Randy Orton starts punching him. The ref pulls him off, and then Randy's still mad. Like, he wipes the spit off just like that from the mustache, and low blows Christian. He kicks him right between the nuts. Like, he did not care. And I loved it. DQ happens. Well, the title switches hands. Christian wins the title in the most cowardly way you could, Casey.
Cowardly or smart?
Or you've been listening too much to your boy Bobby the Brain back there. I like it, though.
Yeah.
I like it.
Yeah.
So afterwards in this matchup, Randy Orton then, he doesn't care. He lost his shit already. So he's like, I'm going to continue beating the shit out of Christian. Who cares what happens? He's beating him down with a chair, everything. And he hits the RKOs on the table. I think this is the beginning of like the RKOs that don't break the table, but people didn't care. They were still all for it. He hits the first one, then he hits the second one, and here comes the medical team to give some more attention out.
What a disgusting display by Randall Orton, okay?
What do you mean?
To attack this man who just went through war, Christian, like this after the match. The match is over, and you're just attacking him like this. It's reprehensible, is what it is.
We use the words reprehensible and repugnant in a wrestling review. I want points for this. I want credit.
That's right.
After the match, though, what would you say, though? Overall grade? Did you like this? Was this good?
The match, I thoroughly enjoyed the match. These guys are fantastic together. And Randy Orton, he's amazing. He's one of the few lifer WWE guys that I have respect for. Christian, he's always been solid. I kind of always feel bad that he's always played second fiddle to Edge. So
I've always felt you could make the argument that if someone said he was better, I'm not gonna debate him. I would say, hey, I might agree some days.
Yeah, well, I mean, if you're talking talent-wise, okay, but you can't make the argument that Christian was a bigger star. Edge was clearly the bigger star.
Well, we know where Christian was when Edge was becoming the bigger star too. So that's not really, you know what I mean? That's tough. I think Christian always wanted the chance, and I think he knew he wasn't going to get it, unfortunately. But I give this the grade of an A. How about you?
I give it 3 Honey Crisp apples.
Now, how do you feel about Honey Crisp apples?
They're fantastic apples. They make great apple cider. If you're getting cider from any other apples in the fall, then you're wrong. I just have to say that. You're wrong. Honey Crisp apple cider is the way to go.
So we cut over to the announce team, and they're talking about SummerSlam because, we just had somebody get their ass kicked and EMTs came out here. Promote SummerSlam now.
That's right.
So the biggest show of the summer is coming up, and then in the background, I start hearing it. CM Punk, CM Punk, CM Punk. The chant that will go on to haunt people to this day sometimes. CM Punk. So we get the highlight video package of Punk announcing that his contract expires. They show a little bit of highlights from the pipe bomb promo, even when Vince tried to negotiate and Punk was starting to go in there. And I love some of this stuff. CM Punk the movie. I want my face on the old ice cream bars. Why did those never come back? What was so hard about making those?
I don't know. I would have bought them all the time. Yeah. See, Punk gave them gold, and they just were too stubborn.
We'll get into some of this here. I love this is one of my favorite parts in the promo. The typical John Cena diatribe I wrote of, "You've lost your sight. You've lost everything, Punk." And CM Punk looks at him and says, "You're no longer the underdog, John. You're a dynasty. You're not the Red Sox. You've become everything you hate. You're the New York Yankees." Slap to the face. I guess that was too much. You call me the Yankees? That's it, bro. I'm done.
Hey, he's a new
Marlins?
No, Cena is from the Boston area, isn't he?
No, I believe he's like a Tampa Bay Rays fan or a Marlins fan. I don't know which team, but he's definitely a Florida team fan because everyone was like, "Oh, you're from Boston, bro. What is this?"
Well, then he's a sellout. Then he's even worse than he's a sellout.
The WWE at the time knew what they were getting from this because they had the pan out already set from the top from when you hear CM Punk's music. So you get the CM Punk, and then you hear "This Fire Burns." Bro, when CM Punk comes out to this, I don't think people know. Like, they don't get it, bro. I had goosebumps. The chills from this, and I'm like, this guy is in his hometown. This has to be the greatest feeling. Like, oh yes, dude, I'm about to wreck this dude here, and everybody's on my side. You see the "If CM Punk loses, we riot" sign. That was classic, and I feel like everything after this was like, okay, it's not cool anymore. But this was great when they did it here. This shirt, bro, he is rocking this shirt that I'm wearing for this. I had to wear this. You know why? Because I ordered it that night after the show was over, and I got the second wave of them. And I'm going to put an argument to this, Casey. We're going to switch this up a little bit. This shirt is in my top 5 of best wrestling shirts of all time, like highest selling that I've ever seen. You know, the previous job we used to have, we used to see a lot of people. The top shirts that I will always say that I've seen, NWO, DX, Stone Cold Steve Austin. And I'm putting this up there with them.
I agree.
I never saw so many people wear that shirt ever for like the next 2 to 3 years. I was like, holy crap, everybody's into this. John Cena makes his entrance. He gets booed. I smile at that.
I smile too.
And maybe it's because they're in Chicago, but nobody was really feeling this guy. He had a few fans, but I mean, you hear the classic "Let's go Cena sucks" chant at points during the match. It wasn't enough in this one, though. Like, usually it's 50-50 when you hear those. Yeah. It was not tonight.
No.
It was good. Let's talk about the actual wrestling in this. Great startup to this. And I just listened to something else with CM Punk. I think he was talking to Rosenberg about this match. And they were talking about the backstage stuff, Casey. And I don't know if you know this, but he said they were backstage setting up the match. And Cena's getting dressed. He's getting dressed. And all of a sudden they go, and he says he felt weird talking about this because this was probably way later down the line. He was like, yeah, we were just sitting there. And then all of a sudden you hear, all right, guys, you got 45 minutes. Punk's like, oh shit. I've been a performer for so long in WWE. I'm like, I don't really need 45 minutes to do this. And then so he was like, but I'm not giving it back. They said I could have it. So hell yeah, I'm taking this. And John Cena and him, so they're like, all right, so we know what the finish is. What do you guys got before that, though? And he was like, I got nothing. They were like, what? He was like, I got nothing. He was like, let's call this shit in the ring like we used to, man. It's classic shit. And Michael Hayes was like, I got to tell Vince something. You got to give me something. And he was just like, tell him it's live, and what happens, happens. And I guess that, and Punk left it at that, because they were asked Cena, like, who's calling the match? And Cena said, ask the man right there. And he was like, all right, we're calling it in the ring then. So it's cool to know, like, this whole thing was called in the ring for the most part. But the chain wrestling started off. I thought this was cool. I thought it was very well done. Feel free to interject at any moment if you have some thoughts on any of this.
I mean, I don't know. You keep talking. I mean,
I got it. No.
I mean, yeah. It's just.
I know what I'm going to strike a chord with you in a second on, because
like talking about the match. It's just like, I mean, people need to watch this match. It's
a classic.
It is.
It's a classic. CM Punk does so much in this to start it off, and it's with headlocks and stuff. Usually people boo this shit, but he knew he was in front of a crowd that's going to eat this up, and in the back of his mind, I'm going 45 minutes. I don't really have to do a lot in the beginning. Another thing he said, oh, I'm Greg the Hammer Valentine in this match. He was like, give me 20 minutes, then I'm getting warmed up, and then I'll start doing my shit. Like, he knew he was like, I'm going to waste the first 15 minutes of time. Yeah. Very smart. Now, when you look at this, the announcers pissed me off in a lot of this. Jerry Lawler was being the WWE like kiss ass, and I don't know. I was so confused as to who's the heels in this, Casey. I don't know if you felt the same way with their commentary and their like bias.
I think it was Michael Cole was the heel, and because at one point, because he supported a lot of the heels throughout the night, and at one point though in this match, he says. He agrees with Jerry. He's like, he basically says like admits to like being the heel announcer, but he has to stick side with WWE on this because Punk is the traitor. Punk is threatening to leave with the championship.
And Booker T got to be the rebel, basically like supporting Punk. Like, well, now come on now, CM Punk's not fully wrong now. What he's trying to do. I was one of the boys too. Come on, Jerry. And Jerry Lawler's like kind of like he's supposed to be the baby face like legend, and he's just kind of like crapping on Punk too. And I'm like, what are you doing right now? This showed me that the fans were clamoring for some type of change at this time. I don't know how you felt as a fan, but I would be interested to know.
Bro. John Cena represents everything that was wrong with WWE at the time. I mean, they just hold it on too long. I get that this was 10 years ago, but he continued to hold on to that stranglehold of at the top for several years after this, and the commentary team that I just how did they not?
How many times? Wait, how many times have you? Oh my God! All right. I know it's coming. I'm not going to go through move for move for everything that happens in this because I have it. Honestly, like if you guys want to see my notes, I showed Casey before this. This is just for this match, like just this match. I wrote down like a lot of the stuff that happens in it. But let's get into the nooks and crannies of it. They eventually build up, and I really liked a lot of the stuff they were doing with the transitions in this. CM Punk was almost the first guy to like land from the I think it was called the Attitude Adjuster at the time, or the FU, whatever you want to call it. He flips him out of it, and Punk tried to land, and he slipped. I was so like upset for him. I'm like, dang, he almost stuck that. But you were so wrapped up in the match at the time, you didn't give a shit. Like I don't remember that about this match. And you see so many great moments, and there's the kickouts. John Cena locks in that shitty STFU. It was a little less shitty this night. But I always hate there's your head tap. Like, dude, what are you flexing and squeezing his head? Wrap that arm around and pull up on it a little bit. Chono would be pissed if he saw this, but whatever. Punk eventually gets to the ropes. They show him like fighting every time to get to the ropes. I loved it. This isn't like the time when he was in the Nexus and he faced Cena, or when the Nexus jumped him and he faced Cena. This was completely different, but they always had that good chemistry with each other. But this was on a bigger level, and I loved how they did this. John Cena goes for like an AA from the top rope. It gets blocked. Cena's supposed to get hit with a knee to the face with the GTS. He blocks it into another STF. They do so many great things here. And the finish, let's just get to that. Here comes Vince McMahon and Johnny Ace. Vince McMahon is yelling for the bell to be rung because he's so damn old, apparently. He can't get ringside so that the timekeeper can hear him. I just see a timekeeper with like headphones on, like listening to music. Do you really want to hurt me? Man, I can't wait to get some Chicago pizza after this. Like, you know what I mean? What the hell is this guy doing? So he tells Johnny Ace to go do it. Johnny Ace is getting ready to go do it. Cena lets go of the STF to go punch Johnny Ace because he doesn't want to win that way because he's a dumb baby face. So he's like, no. This isn't going down that way. If Vince looks pissed, he slides back into the ring. Boop. GTS, go to sleep. 1, 2, 3. We have a new WWE champion, Casey. The crowd
erupts. The crowd erupted.
Colt Cabana erupted.
Colt Cabana, oh, dude. It was so nice seeing him ringside. Like,
I really wish the two were friends. So I wish like all that other bullshit didn't get in between them. I heard they're kind of cool, but they're not cool like they used to be. It just sucks that all that stuff got in between them. But I really think that it was dope how they just set this up. CM Punk gets the title. Fans are going crazy. Vince has the oh shit look on his face. No matter what you say about Vince, the man's a performer. Like, oh my God, what has happened? This is such bullshit. I don't know what to do. So Punk's in the ring, and Vince marches around, and he's pissed. And I like how they did it from a shoot aspect. He needs a microphone. He says, you know what? Screw this. He grabs the announcer's headset, and he goes, somebody, we can't have this happen. Send Alberto Del Rio out. Send him out right now. And then Del Rio runs out with the briefcase, and he's looking stupid, slides into the ring. CM Punk kicks him right to his dome and leaves.
Yep. Dude, that shot of Punk on the, like when he blows the kiss
on the rail,
on the barricade. Oh my God, priceless.
Frank the Clown and that really tall kid that was behind him. I don't know who he is, but he's in like every photo that I've ever had. Like, I used to do leagues and stuff, and we would have like the backgrounds of whoever the wrestler was that you picked, and that kid's face was always there, like. Classic.
Well, I think Brock Lesnar guy was there too in the crowd.
He was. Man, remember when all those people would be there? The guy who wore the suit jacket all the time too. I'm like, how the hell did you guys have money for this?
They just rich people. They just.
Apparently, I need to hang out with them because I'm broke as shit. I could not do that. So he goes through the crowd. He runs up. He's with his people, and the last image we see is CM Punk at the top of the crowd, holding up the WWE Championship. Like, dopeness, bro. Dopeness. And I absolutely loved his tweet after the first tweet he makes. The champ is here, and the belt's in the refrigerator next to the milk. Like, that was great.
Yep.
That was great. That was the most, like, CM Punk thing to do.
Dude, this match is spectacular.
It takes two times, though.
It's not the crispest, not the most crisp match ever, not flawless, but it just worked with all the energy in the arena, in everything. It just, like, any little slight mistakes don't matter because the crowd was into this match from start to finish, and it just, the worst part of the match is the commentary. Honestly.
Just being too biased at points, but I get why they had to be, but it was, I don't know. I felt weird about it.
I just don't.
You know, it sucks.
I mean, I just don't understand to really get into like the meta aspect of it, the like, it doesn't even have to be meta, like in storyline, in kayfabe, like, why is Punk vilified for demanding respect for his like, I am the best in the world at what I do. I'm better than that guy who you're putting on all the cups, all the boxes, all the programs, everything. Like, I'm so much better than that guy. And I deserve respect. And he's the heel for that. He's vilified for it. How many times in our discussions have we, like, Cena was truly the heel so many times in his career, and he just but because they didn't write him as the heel, like, it's so frustrating.
Right. If it's not how we want it to look, then it's wrong, you know? And sometimes it's just like, I don't understand it. But in this situation, it kind of worked, though. Like, Cena, you're the franchise guy, but I'm telling you, I've always said this with WWE. When you look at the comparisons, there's always the man of the corporate people, and then there's the man of the people. Go back to the 80s, Hulk Hogan. That was Vince's choice. Who did the people probably want? I would say Macho Man Randy Savage.
Oh, yeah, the Macho Man Randy Savage. Oh, yeah.
I would say Bret Hart and Shawn Michaels. I think Shawn Michaels was the corporate choice eventually, but I think Bret was the man of the people. We're not getting into this right now, though. I can see the tension brewing between us for that. Stone Cold and The Rock. The Rock was the corporate choice, and not even like in kayfabe storyline. Stone Cold Steve Austin was the man of the people. John Cena was just the corporate choice. There was no man of the people, I really feel, afterwards until you get to Punk. I mean, I guess you could say maybe Edge or someone if you wanted to argue, but nah, I say it's Punk. Punk is definitely... And Punk is John Cena's best opponent ever. Like, I know sometimes people are like, Randy Orton and him, and that's the best rivalry. And I always say, nah, give me Cena Punk every time, bro.
It's because Cena and Punk are so different.
Opposite.
Yeah, they're opposites of each other, and it works brilliantly. And I get it. It does take two to tango, but that doesn't, like,
give him a little respect in this one. Come on. This is his best match, in my opinion.
This is his best match of all time. And who called it? As you stated, like, this story before the match. Who called the match?
Punk. But I will say that.
All right.
But his stardom did help elevate Punk, though, I feel. Like, the fans, the Let's Go Cena, and Punk's fans just ate them up. It made for the story, too, in the match. And the crowd made this. Like, this is an A-plus crowd. If I had to give the crowd a grade, do you want to?
Chicago's an amazing wrestling city. The crowd in this gets 17 watermelons.
Okay. This match, I give it A+ too, though. I do think that this is a great match based on crowd reaction. Like you said, it's not the most... You're not seeing Flair Steamboat when you're watching this. This isn't like, oh, man, this is a great wrestling match. It's not that. It's about the moment. It's about being a part of something, and it was about feeling like you wanted change, and, like, this could be the change that we want. This is here, and a carrot's being dangled in front of us. So, A+. I guess, do you want to do the overall now?
On the show?
The show as a whole, yeah. Like, I really wanted to work with you on this because I could have went one of two ways, and I feel like I'm going to stand my ground on the overall grade, but I don't know if I'm justified in saying what I'm going to say about it.
I give the card as a whole, the pay-per-view as a whole, I give it probably like, I don't know, I'd say like 1988. That's my grade. 1,988.
Okay, nice, very good. I'm gonna go. I put it as an A, but I think you could even argue an A+.
1988's the year I was born, by the way, so that's a good year. It's a good grade.
This is true. I think you could say it's an A+ show, though, if you really wanted to argue it. I put A. I was debating between an A and an A+. I mean, what do you think? Is this like, to me, this is an all-time great WWE pay-per-view.
My birthday is July 14th, so by the time they're seeing this, it was just my birthday. So happy birthday to me.
Happy birthday to you. I just feel like singing some Stevie Wonder. Go ahead.
The match or the card as a whole, it had a good flow to it. I love it's. I give it an A. To go to make it crystal clear for people, I give it an A.
Yeah, I think if maybe match 2 was a little bit better, I think it could have been an A+. Like I said,
look who it was. They couldn't do better.
But let's get into the aftermath of this. So we'll agree to an A then. We'll give this an A.
Yep.
I don't think there's many other events within the last 10 years that I'm going to say got an A for the most part for WWE. Maybe there's one other one that I'm not thinking off the top of my head, and NXT does not count. I really can't think of too many other shows.
WWE?
Yeah, I mean, maybe, no, not even WrestleMania 30. I think I gave that like a B. There's not many shows that are ranking above this. I can't think of any, honestly. But the after effect, I want to talk about this Vince promise. So Vince promised that John Cena was going to feel the wrath of mercy from God, whatever the stupid shit he said. Nothing happens to John Cena from all this. So
what happens? Doesn't he rip the title away from Rey Mysterio after 2 hours?
Dude, not even 2 hours. He wins. Who did he beat? Was it him and Miz in the finals? I think so, right?
Yeah.
Whatever, whoever it was. Rey Mysterio wins a tournament to crown a new champion because Punk took the belt and left. And they literally screw Rey Mysterio. John Cena's like, I would like a title shot. I just wrestled in a tournament. Sure, John. Cool. I'll see you out there.
Dude, this is what I'm talking about. John Cena's the worst. He is not this great, amazing hero. He is a douchebag. And oh my God, you're exhausted after just wrestling through that tournament, and wow, you finally won the big one. You finally won WWE Championship. Congrats, Ray. I'm gonna go out there and whoop your ass.
I need a match tonight, though.
Yeah, I'm gonna go out there and whoop your ass. That's what's gonna happen.
I really just never liked how they handled this. I don't want to get too deep into it because honestly, this is like the point. So all the good that we talked about with the promos, the lead up and everything, it was good for a little bit.
Are you talking about just what happened to John or what didn't happen? Or are you going to talk about the summer of Punk?
I'm getting into a little bit of the summer of Punk. I don't want to get too deep into it because I feel like I don't want to go on a rant.
I'll get deep into it. Kevin Nash, you're a piece of shit. You're a piece of shit, Kevin Nash. I said it. Coming out your stupid tugboat shirt, your stripes. What the hell was that? You suck. You suck.
Listen, I don't know what the plans were.
Triple H, you're garbage. Stick to just being an executive. As a wrestler, you're way too damn selfish. You suck. You screwed up. You had gold. Gold, Jerry, gold. And you screwed it up. Like, how did you mess up CM Punk riding this wave?
Time out. I won't even go that. You're going way deep down the line. Why did he come back in 2 weeks?
I agree. They could have just been like, Punk, go have a nice vacation. Enjoy it for several weeks. And all we need is to film a few things with the title. That's all we need.
I wouldn't even have filmed anything, bro.
No, not him filming things, but like his appearance at San Diego Comic-Con when it wasn't filmed it was just like people filming it and stuff, you know?
Yeah, you could have sent a WWE crew person that you like to say, go follow him.
Just make a few appearances, like where you're walking around like, I'm the champ, I have WWE's belt, and you know.
And Punk could have went and scouted talent for you and said, you want this guy from Ring of Honor, I'm telling you, go sign him to your developmental place. Punk could have done these little things and just kept building it up, bro. And they just didn't do that. And CM Punk never got to deliver on all the promises. He didn't get to do a new belt. Like I get that's going too deep down the line though, because that happens later. We get a new belt, but it's just like the dude had goals. He had stuff he wanted to do, and you just moved away from it. And it just aggravates me. You had gold here, and I really think this was the chance for them to do a big change, and they just kind of said, you know what, fuck it, we're not doing it. We're not going through with this. And I don't understand why. The shirt, hottest selling shirt. He did everything right. He was like, I made all the appearances. I did everything I was supposed to do, and it didn't get me anywhere. And that's why the dude ended up leaving and he's gone.
Do you want to keep going down the line? Because you and I are both Punk guys. We're two. We still love this guy. We still respect him. And all y'all that have turned your back on him, y'all suck. Okay? Y'all suck. You're sellouts. You're freaking sellouts. Just you guys, I know so many of you were sitting there bitching about WWE and their product for so many years, and this is the guy who voiced it, literally the voice of the voiceless, and he stood up. He stood up for what he believed in. He didn't want to just be handed dog shit day in, day out. And like, no, I'm not main eventing WrestleMania. You want me to have a match with Triple H? Like, why? That's beneath me. Like, it makes no sense. And so he was smart enough with his money throughout his career that he could just leave. He did. He just took off and said, nope, see ya, bye. And so many of you turn on him for that. You corporate shills.
I'm going to save it, Casey, because I
always have Punk's back.
I agree. Taiwan is a country. So, like, I just don't get it, man.
It is. Taiwan is a country. You sell out, Cena. Cena the sellout.
I shouldn't have did that to Big Match, John. I'm sorry, John. I know why you were forced to do it. But, listen, CM Punk, I don't know how you feel about him. Let's end with
he was forced to do it because he's in that horrible film. Stop making those movies. That franchise is garbage. Stop making Fast and Furious movies. How is that franchise still going?
Somebody's a fan. It makes a lot of money all over.
I know it does. Over in China, which is why he had to apologize to him. He had to
apologize. So let's put a cherry on this, Casey. Let's talk about CM Punk today in pro wrestling. Overall, like, how do you feel about the guy coming back? Do you want to see him come back eventually? Is it at this point, for me? I'm over it. Like, I feel like if he comes back, I'll be happy.
Exactly. For several years after he retired, I would always hope. I'd be like, man, it could make so much sense if he showed up right now. It'd be so great. But like you, I have given up that hope. I just let the dude be happy. If he's happy not wrestling, let him be happy not wrestling. If he's happy making his horrible B horror films, yeah, I said it. I love the guy, but I'm honest. Then let him keep making those horrible B horror films. Like, if he does show up, I'm all for it. I love it. I'll eat it up. But I'm not sitting there I'm not holding my breath for it. I'm not expecting it. I don't demand it of him. He's earned the right to do whatever the hell he wants.
I can get down with that. I can respect that. Let me say this, guys. This retro review is going up. I have to say happy birthday to my intern. You guys know who that is on the podcast when we make these jokes. So happy birthday to the intern. And I don't tell you guys too much on the retro reviews and stuff, but make sure you guys like, comment, subscribe. I know it says chat in there, but talk down below. Leave me a comment. What did you think of WWE Money in the Bank? Tell me about Punk. Tell me your feelings about Cena. Tell me something in the comments down below. If you guys want, Casey, where can the people follow you? Where are you telling people to come talk to you?
Baby Briggs 21 on social media.
That is where all your hate mail also goes. So make sure you send it over there to Casey. And I really enjoy doing this Money in the Bank review. Me and Casey will have a few more different things planned that we'll talk about in the future. So if you like this, hit the like button. Subscribe if you're listening on the audio version. hit the subscribe button as well. We greatly appreciate it. This is Conrad Cushman for Everything Pro Wrestling, and we are out. Peace.
Penis.
Everyday pro wrestling, they can never be you. Listen to the podcast for the people, the best show that's here, so listen in. Let the knowledge begin, the opinions, the lesson, yes. By the fans, for the fans, not many in this can understand, this the podcast to show you who I am, Conrad Cushman, the legend in the plans, please listen every day to the showcase, the opinions and knowledge that anyone can take, showing you how it is done, proving I am number one, what a legend becomes. This is now my time to show you that I am here. This podcast just to make it loud and clear. By the fans, for the fans, not many who's here can understand everything pro wrestling, they can never be you. Listen to the podcast here for the people, the best show that's here, so listen in. Let the knowledge begin, the opinion and the lesson, yes. Everyday pro wrestling, they can never be you. Listen to the podcast for the people, the best show that's here, so listen in. Let the knowledge begin, the opinions, the lesson, yes.